ChatGPT.
You open your laptop. You know you need to do something important, write something, plan something, figure something out, but nothing comes. That blank screen just sits there. Now imagine, instead of staring at it, something starts building with you. That's ChatGPT. Created by OpenAI, it's often called a chatbot, but that's a massive understatement, because what it actually does is remove the hardest part of thinking: starting. You type one sentence, and suddenly you're not alone anymore. Ideas expand, thoughts connect, structure appears. But here's what most people don't realize. They use it like a search engine. Quick question, quick answer, done. And that's why they never unlock its real power, because ChatGPT isn't for answers, it's for momentum. You can write entire scripts, generate business ideas, learn complex topics faster, simulate conversations, even build step-by-step plans for almost anything. And once you understand how to guide it, it feels less like a tool and more like an extension of your mind. That's why people who use it properly don't just save time, they move faster than everyone else. But thinking is just the first layer. Because what happens when your ideas don't just stay as words? What if you could actually see them? Not imagine them, not explain them, but generate them instantly. That's where things start to shift. Midjourney. For years, creating something visual required skill, design software, drawing ability, time. If you didn't have those, your ideas stayed locked in your head. Midjourney changed that. Developed by an independent research lab led by David Holtz, it takes something incredibly simple, words, and turns them into images that look like they belong in a film. You type a sentence, and seconds later, it exists. A world, a character, a concept. But here's the part most people underestimate. This isn't just about art, it's about control. Because before this, if you had an idea, you had to wait. Wait for a designer, wait for execution, wait for results. Now, you create instantly, and that removes delay, which means you can test ideas faster, build faster, move faster. People are already using this to create thumbnails, brand visuals, product concepts, even entire creative worlds. And the strange part is, the better you describe your ideas, the more powerful you become. Because now your imagination isn't limited by skill anymore. It's limited only by how clearly you can think. Now think about this. You can think faster. You can visualize instantly. But what if you could take it one step further? What if you could turn all of this into actual videos without filming anything? That's where things start getting serious. Runway. Runway, developed by Runway AI, changes how videos are created entirely. Because instead of needing cameras, actors, editing skills, you start with an idea and build from there. You can remove backgrounds, generate scenes, even create video from text. But here's what makes it powerful. Video used to be expensive, time-consuming, complex. Now it's becoming accessible, which means the barrier to entry is disappearing. And when barriers disappear, competition increases. People are already creating content at a level that used to require full production teams. And if you're not using tools like this, you're competing at a disadvantage. But creating videos still has one major problem: you, or more specifically, being on camera. What if you don't want to show your face? What if you don't have a setup? What if you just want to focus on ideas? That's where the next tool changes everything. Synthesia. Synthesia, created by Synthesia, lets you create videos with AI avatars. You type a script, and a digital human delivers it, in multiple languages, with realistic expressions. But here's what makes it powerful. It removes friction. No camera, no lighting, no retakes, just ideas turning into videos. And for businesses, creators, educators, that means scale. You can produce content faster, more consistently, and without the usual effort. Now pause for a second and look at what's happening. You can think faster, you can create visuals, you can create videos. But what if you could also write better than ever before? That's where this next layer comes in. Jasper. Jasper, developed by Jasper AI, focuses on one thing: persuasion. Because writing isn't just about words, it's about influence. Jasper helps you create content designed to convert. Ads, emails, blogs, sales pages. And here's the important part. In today's world, attention is currency. If you can't capture attention, you don't exist. Jasper helps you do that faster and more effectively. But writing isn't just about creating content, it's also about organizing your thoughts. Because most people don't struggle with ideas, they struggle with structure. That's where this changes everything. Notion AI. Notion AI, built into Notion, acts like a second brain. You dump your thoughts, and it organizes them, summarizes them, turns them into plans. But here's what makes it powerful. It reduces mental overload. And once your mind is clear, you think better, you act faster, you stay consistent. But even if you write well, even if you organize your ideas, there's still one thing that affects everything: how you sound. Grammarly. Grammarly, created by Grammarly, goes beyond grammar. It refines how you communicate, tone, clarity, confidence. Because people don't just judge what you say, they judge how you say it. And small improvements here create big changes in perception. Now imagine this. You can think, create, write, organize, communicate. But what if you could also search smarter? Perplexity AI. Perplexity AI, developed by Perplexity AI, changes how information is found. Instead of giving you links, it gives you answers, with sources, which means less time searching, more time understanding. But what about building things, actual systems, software, code? That's where the final layer comes in. Github Copilot. Github Copilot, created by GitHub in collaboration with OpenAI, changes what it means to build. Because before this, creating software was slow. You had to learn syntax, memorize functions, and spend hours figuring out small details. But now, you start typing, and it completes your thoughts, almost like it understands what you're trying to do before you fully do. But here's what that really changes. Coding is no longer about remembering everything. It's about knowing what you want to build. And that shifts everything. Because now more people can enter tech, more people can create tools, more people can turn ideas into real systems. But here's where things take a final turn. Because now you can think, you can create, you can write, you can build. But what if you didn't just create? What if you could multiply everything you create? Pictory. Pictory, developed by Pictory, is where everything scales. Because up until now, every tool still required your input, your time, your effort. But Pictory changes that. You take one idea and turn it into multiple videos automatically. A script becomes a full video. That video becomes multiple clips, and those clips spread across platforms. But here's the part most people don't realize. The people growing the fastest right now aren't creating more. They're multiplying what they already have. And that's the shift. From effort to scale. Because now, you're not just someone who creates, you're someone who distributes. And once you reach that level, you're no longer competing on how hard you work, but on how far your ideas can go. And when you step back and look at all of this, you realize something important. This isn't just a list of tools, it's a system that amplifies everything you do: thinking, creating, communicating, building, and now scaling. And the people who understand this system don't just keep up, they move ahead. So the real question isn't whether AI matters, it's whether you're going to use it or watch others use it better than you. Because right now, we're still early, and that means there's still time to get ahead. But not for long. If you made it this far, you already know more than most people. And this is just the beginning.